A pleasure to be here with Bernhard Kammel. Welcome, sir, to the Kolkata Literature Festival. My first question is this the first time that you're visiting India?
Yes, it's my first time in India, and thank you to let me come. It's a great honor for me to be here, to be invited, and I'm very happy about this.
We are glad to have you as well. Today, your session is going to be about the novel. So, what I want to ask you is, what do you think of where the novel stands as a form of writing, as a genre? Because the impression is that people are not reading as much. At least in India, we are not reading as much as we were. So, what is your impression?
Yes, so I think this is more a question to a theoretical researcher in literature, to a linguist or philolog, but when I write, I don't care about the genre, about the form. I don't make my mind if this genre is still asked or has some contemporary value, because I believe that also the old literature of the hundreds of years ago kept their value, at least for my person. And I read more or less old literature of others who are already dead. I think the most contemporary literature I read is in American English. It's Tom Lerner, and the other name I forgot. It's I think about the 14th July or something. Uh, and because I miss this sort of innovative usage of the traditional form and genres in the German literature. And I agree with you that it's a great pity that the readers are not a growing number of.
As a filmmaker, you have a certain creative vision.
Yes.
How do you think that vision adopts or takes things from literature? How important is literature for you as a filmmaker when you're making films, when you're developing your creative vision?
Yes, for me, filmmaking was a synthesis of writing, which I did since I ever remember my first thoughts after I was able to write. And the visual plane of storytelling, because I did both. I did photography and I did writing. And my filmmaking was the trial to get more out of the both of them. Uh, but after my last film, uh, I was very keen about writing an opera because I would like the staged spectacle together with music as another color to the storytelling. But quite on contrary, I stepped back just to writing the stories, and I feel that I'm much more free to evoke images and stories in writing. And so it's not a move from filmmaking to literature. It's more a coming back, but not to the same place, but in a helix, I hope so, on a elevated position. Because I understood by filmmaking, and I controlled the visual, the whole visual and dramatical things in this film. I understood that in using this visual plain. I restrict for a certain amount the fantasy of the audience because I illustrate the story. And I think movies should not illustrate a story or a novel or a screenplay. They should stay as an own genre. And this genre cannot compete with literature in the possibilities, in details, in inducing a certain state of awareness in perception. I think that for me, literature is more challenging, more powerful than movie.
And literature also gives you the power of imagination, right? It allows you to imagine things, it allows you to interpret things. My final question is, have you had a chance to read any of Indian literature, Indian writing in English, or maybe watch any Indian films that you remember or that have impressed you?
Yes, I've watched a lot of Indian films because I organized and I did not stage it, but I started an Indian film festival in Vienna for several years, which I later opened up to an international film festival. But in the first years, we have a very dense program of world films coming from India. And so I think this makes a circle back to your entrance question. I don't think that there is a difference in the sphere of filmmaking if you make a film in the United States, in Italy, India, or Austria. This language is like music, a global language, universal language. The same we can say about literature, neglecting the problem of the translations and the impossibility to just translate the book in any other language. But I love English very much, and I read it much better than I can speak it, and so I can interfere in the process of translating my German written book, and I see it as it empowers me to triangulate the thoughts and the feelings I try to formulate in one language by adding another language.
So you expand your creativity by trying to fuse the two languages, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy the festival. Thank you so much.
Thank you.